Silver Surfer number 37, which was released in 1990, witnessed an epic confrontation between Silver Surfer and Drax the Destroyer. The book opens with Surfer, remarking that Galactus gave him incredible powers, and one of these powers is the ability to track anything through the near-infinite distances of space, and the goal now is to hunt down Thanos. The Mad Titan used his teleportation platform to depart from this barren planet where he met Surfer a day before. Thanos doesn't use a spacecraft for teleportation, but rather an advanced technology, which makes the task of tracking him down more difficult. He jumps from one solar system to another in the blink of an eye, and in this case, Surfer must narrow the range of his spectroscopic vision down to the electromagnetic. But that doesn't work, forcing Surfer to broaden his view into subatomic, but that doesn't work either. Surfer raises the frequency range of his vision to unheard spectro levels, and finally locates the trail of the Mad Titan. He says that the technologies used by Thanos on this level would rival Galactus' scientific abilities. Surfer follows the trail, but it just splits off into 6 different directions and disappears into the depth of the space, leaving Surfer in confusion. Several hours later on Titan, Surfer goes to meet Thanos' father Mentor to know more about the Mad Titan. Mentor tells Surfer that Thanos was very clever since he was a child, but was also evil. Surfer apologizes for reminding Mentor of his son, but Cap recommended him as the best source for information on the Mad Titan. Mentor tells Surfer that Thanos murdered his mother when he was 10 years old, then killed a young girl in the same fashion 8 years later, and held her captive in the woods for a week, before he finally did away with her. Thanos fled from Titan before they could apprehend him, and grew to full manhood, out on the perilous outer rim of the galaxy. He was heir to great power, and those wild territories taught him how to use these gifts ruthlessly. He survived and prospered within that environ for more than 8 decades, then returned to Titan, which easily fell before his dark might. Mentor tells Surfer to take Thanos' threat of killing off half the population in the universe seriously, and even before returning from the dead, Thanos was capable of achieving that. The Mad Titan is fascinated by death, and has an incomprehensible relation with Mistress Death, whom he serves well. Mentor says that the only way to stop Thanos from achieving his mad goal is to kill him. But their conversation is interrupted by Thanos' brother Eros, who gets violently tossed into the room by no one other than Drax the Destroyer, who demands to know where Thanos is. Surfer says that he recognizes Drax from the Avengers files, while Mentor explains that Drax was created by Kronos, the god of Titan, to punish Thanos. Kronos crafted the desire to see Thanos destroyed onto the soul of a dead man named Arthur Douglas, then housed that combination inside the nearly indestructible Drax, who is formidable but not very efficient. Surfer asks why Drax keeps repeating the same question, and Mentor says that Thanos' revival has affected Drax's current reanimation, and that he was always guided to Thanos by a weird 6th sense. Surfer turns his back on Drax and walks away with Mentor, but Drax blasts him from behind and sends him crashing into the wall. Mentor says that Drax keeps asking Surfer about Thanos because he must have sensed his recent proximity to the Mad Titan. Surfer tells Drax that he doesn't know where Thanos is, but Drax grabs Surfer from his neck and keeps asking where Thanos is, with Mentor saying that Drax suffered a brain death in his last incarnation, which explains why he behaves this way. Surfer knocks Drax away and blasts him with some cosmic energy, but Drax tells Surfer that he will meet Thanos again soon, so he will stick with him until then. Surfer says that he prefers to travel alone, but Drax holds the board and prevents Surfer from taking off. Mentor says that Drax can tap into some limitless power reservoir, but Surfer says that he also knows about power and tactics, then flies backward, sending Drax crashing into the ceiling and out into space. Surfer can't shake Drax from his board, and remarks that he prefers to avoid direct physical confrontation with him. Then crashes Drax through an asteroid, but still can't get rid of the mighty brute, who demands to know where Thanos is. Surfer then decides to dip Drax into the sun, to see if he is fireproof, and hopes that Drax can fly away if it gets too hot. Surfer plunges with Drax into the sun, but that doesn't stop the indestructible Drax either, who still demands to know where Thanos is. Surfer feels frustrated and asks Drax if he can feel pain, and Drax says only the aching desire to see Thanos dead. Surfer tells Drax that he remembered a way to locate Thanos and claims that there are machines back on Earth that can locate him, and they are called information machines. They head to the Baxter building, where Surfer asks Johnny to let him use the information machine he told Drax about. Johnny lets Surfer and Drax into a room in which there is a television, and Surfer tells Johnny to check back in about 4 hours. They start watching a show to supposedly learn the location of Thanos. Drax gets distracted by the show, which allows Surfer to escape and to continue his search for the Mad Titan alone. Drax is incredibly powerful yet underrated in my opinion, and this feat says it all. This also shows how kind and good-hearted Surfer is, and how much he holds back against superpowered beings he doesn't deem evil. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. Thanks for watching, and have a nice one.